We welcome our good friend from Outkick the Coverage and noted Tennessee honk, Clay Travis. How you doing, Clay?
Doing excellent. How are you guys?
Fantastic. I got to ask you about this Derek Rogers business. Did anybody not see this coming? He basically just pulled off the delinquent trifecta. He was a cancer in the locker room. He slapped a drunk, and now he's kicked off a substance abuse policy. We all knew this was coming.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was shocked. If you've been out in Vegas betting for the most likely guy to get kicked off Tennessee's football team, I think it would have been Rogers. The only reason why I think people are a little bit surprised is because it did kind of come out of nowhere in the sense that he's been running with the ones. Dooley's been relying on him. Derek Dooley at Tennessee have been relying on him to be kind of the one most reliable of the three big receivers they were expecting to have there. And it kind of had the idea that the top players on Tennessee could do pretty much anything to avoid getting kicked off the team because Dooley has to win, and he has to win now. And it looked like the inmates were running the asylum, and evidently that's not the case. I guess he failed finally enough of the test there, the drug test, and finally they pulled the plug on him. I think it's not a surprise, but the timing is a surprise.
And Clay, with all eyes on Coach Dooley, is his job on the line?
Every play of every game for the rest of the season, yes. He is on the hot seat of hot seats. It's not just that he's not winning. It's that a lot of Tennessee fans are not showing up for games. The revenues are down. He's the CEO, basically, of the $100 million business there, and everything gets laid at his feet when it's football.
Yeah.
And, I think there's a decent chance that if he doesn't win and win big and win early, if he loses that NC State game, loses to Florida, there's a possibility he could be fired midway through this season. So, yeah, I mean, he's 100% on the hot seat, and every single quarter, every single play, he's staying on there. He's got to win, and he's got to win big.
Clay, this line has moved from 7-point spread to a 3-point spread. Pretty significant move. What do you think Tennessee is going to have to do to stay on top of this NC State team in this game?
Well, it's interesting. I think they're going to have to run the football, and they're going to have to hope that Justin Hunter, their proverbial or expected first-round draft pick at wide receiver who tore his ACL last year, can come back and be a big-time, big-play threat down the field. They're going to have to hope that a junior college wide receiver named Cordarrelle Patterson, who's a five-star guy, also supposedly an elite-level talent. Nobody's seen him play yet in the SEC, plays at an elite level. And then Tyler Bray is going to have to make really good decisions, and the offensive line is going to have to run the ball. And I think early on the expectation was Tennessee would win a lot of shootouts this year. Certainly they have a lot less bullets in the gun without Derek Rogers now.
Clay, I was actually most upset because in listening to the radio in the local area, I did not hear once Derek Dooley's mom get on and try and defend Derek. Not one time. When will we hear from Derek Dooley's mom?
She was banned. We had her on several times in
Wow.
my show down here, and he banned her from coming on. Now, Derek Dooley is going to come on with us weekly. He doesn't do a lot of media, but he gave his mom the heave-ho and said, "You're not allowed to go on anymore, Mom." Although the last time we had her on, and this is not a joke, she came on and talked about how she took her top off at an 8-year-old granddaughter's birthday party and they skinny dipped. So, I mean, she's awesome. Every single person that has ever heard Barbara Dooley talk loves her. The only two things that are good about the Derek Dooley regime at Tennessee so far are the orange pants and his mom.
Hey, there has been a lot of turmoil this offseason in the SEC. Is there anybody kind of flying under the radar that you could rise up as a surprise team?
I think Mississippi State. If you look at Mississippi State's schedule, they could win their first 7 games. They have to go to Alabama, and they have to go to LSU. Those are 2 games that they're not going to win. Mississippi State, in their entire history as a football program, has never won 10 games in the regular season. They've only won 1 SEC title in 1941. So we're talking about a team that is the proverbial whipping boy down there. And I think for a change, they're going to be pretty good. I think they have a good shot to win 9 or 10 games. Everybody's talking about, Arkansas, Alabama, LSU, Georgia, South Carolina, those 5 teams. I think there's a chance Mississippi State can be right there on the periphery as one of the top teams in the league.
Now, Clay, obviously Tennessee took a hit losing Rogers. Not the only SEC team. I mean, LSU losing Honey Badger, Georgia losing Crowell. Who do you think has the biggest disadvantage here?
Yeah, there's 4 big-time guys that are out. Also, Auburn losing Michael Dyer.
Yes.
I kind of thought more and more about that over the course of the day. I think Dyer's the biggest loss because Auburn has very, very few offensive weapons, and they have a new quarterback. I think DeRogers is number 2 because Tennessee really, really needed him to be a big play wide receiver. Guy had 67 catches, over 1,000 yards. You know he could do it. And then I think the Honey Badger will be easier to replace just because he wasn't great in coverage. He's going to miss his big play potential. And then Crowell, Georgia just always seems to have pretty good running backs. They got a couple of 5-star kids that are coming in now. Crowell was good. He's going to be good, but I think Georgia will replace him pretty quickly. So that's how I'd rank the 4.
All right, Clay, thanks for joining us tonight. That is the editor, Clay Travis of OutkickTheCoverage.com. He is dropping the knowledge tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Keep hope alive, brother.
Thanks, Clay.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me.